Hello, and welcome to another episode of the podcast that still hasn't put one of its presenters on the intro bit because we're just that rubbish. Hey,
Hello.
hello. We are expecting Dylan this week.
At some point, we've left this beautiful space in the
yes,
middle for him when he turns up.
This is
But
the
until
Dylan
then,
gap. But yes, he's just got off a train or something. He was on his way to somewhere.
somewhere in Portugal.
Somewhere in Portugal. Yes, I think he's going from Lisbon to Porto. He's done Azure Dev Summit,
Mhm.
which seemed like it was quite successful, and now
Ends
he's on his
today, I
way.
believe, yeah.
Yes, and now on his way to NDC Porto, where he will be doing an obscene number of workshops and generally turning himself into the Walking Dead. So yes, and and we are. You're sort of on the tail end of a cold.
I am. So if you hear me coughing,
Um,
disregard.
Yes. And I did that thing last week where, if you've been following along, you know that I've been quite stressed and working far too much and and it's just generally not been good. And so I finally, Thursday last week, I went, I'm having a couple of days off, I'm having a long weekend. And so Thursday I was kind of like, yes, I just should relax a bit. And then Friday I felt like absolute hell on toast. And it was like that thing where you go, your body has just been fighting off all the
It's like your body just unclenches and falls apart.
Yeah, that's the thing. You go, I've been running on fumes, and now that you have time to notice, I should probably point out that we've got like Ebola.
All of the warning lights are on.
Yeah. We caught all the diseases, but you've been too busy, so I haven't bothered you with it. So yes, that was a fun week, and I still had to go down and drive all the way to Surrey and pick up stuff and bring it back to Sheffield. So hello, the Jeffable. That's a brilliant name. I love that. So yes, what exciting stuff has been happening in Eli Land?
What exciting stuff has been happening in my land. Got over a couple of colds, only to catch another one.
Yeah.
It's kind of been business as usual, to be honest, here. Pretty much. Yeah. There was all the stuff we were talking about last week with the Blue Sky moderation drama, which seems to have died down a bit.
Yes.
I feel, although I haven't spent that much time on Blue Sky.
No. But it doesn't seem to have kicked off particularly. But I mean, there's more drama coming along to take over.
Absolutely.
Hence the title this week, Rage Against the Rage Machines.
The thing that I've noticed in the last week, and I think this is like partly confirmation bias and Baader-Meinhof effect.
Yes.
But noticing a lot more AI generated videos just around, either being shared without people knowing that they are AI generated, or by people who do know that they're AI generated, but they think they're, worth sharing anyway. And I'm getting more and more Luddite, like angry Luddite about it.
Yes.
I've always been a bit people using generative AI to do things like writing fan fiction. There's a phrase that I've seen floating around in that context, which is like, if you couldn't be bothered to write it, why should I be bothered to read it? And it's a bit like, it's not quite how I feel about videos, because animating something, for example, is a lot more effort.
Yes.
But there's something that offends me about something being presented as truth that didn't happen. And sort of like, this is hilarious. And it's like, well, it would have been hilarious if it was real, but it's not. And that it does actually matter.
Yes. There was the video clip that somebody shared on the Signal chat.
We shan't name names.
A small,
but
yes.
We know who you are.
Yeah, Martin. But yes, a small child climbing onto the back of what looked like a monitor lizard.
Alligator, I thought it was small alligator.
It looked sort of more.
I thought it was supposed to be
Komodo
Florida
dragony or something.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, large lizard.
Large lizard, but yeah, small child gets on back of large lizard. Large lizard goes way off.
Yeah, takes off like a stallion into the sunset.
Go chasing after it.
Yeah,
and it's one of those things where if that had been a real thing that really
happened, shit, amazing,
you would be kind of like, oh my god, isn't Florida amazing? But it's just
And the thing is, we've already had like unhinged versions of that kind of thing that you could go and look at for fun if what you really wanted was to actively, deliberately melt your brain with that kind of slop. And it's like
Yes.
the mermaid documentary.
Yes. Oh, I watched that. Oh, it's so good. You have to watch the Mermaids documentary on YouTube. It's
Mermaid, the
really-
body found.
Mermaid, the body found. It is.
But the thing is, that was like
I want to believe.
that is pure artisanal, like human crafted
Yes.
nonsense,
Yes,
and not just sort of churned out. Yeah,
it's
I don't know.
proper.
Yeah.
It is. I mean, there were a lot of effort went into that,
Mm.
and yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of. I mean, watching it, you're kind of like going, "This is either like I don't know why this wasn't on the news, and it was probably on a D notice or
Yeah.
something, or it's some Blair Witch level filmmaking,
Yes, which is what it is,
which
and
is
it's
what
just
it is."
yeah,
But
hard recommend for
you
that.
sort of you come out of it going, yeah, no, actually, that's completely feasible. I can see how that would have happened because
Yeah.
dolphins and orcas and
Like that's the thing is,
whales-
I don't want to be convinced that an alligator could have run off with a toddler. I want to be convinced mermaids are real,
yes,
and one of those is a much more fun lie to talk yourself into.
yes,
Um,
yeah. It
Yeah.
reminds me of I for some reason I get recommended a lot of the YouTube atheist content, which is all very
like, do you get all the debate stuff?
debate me, bro. But like the other way around, where it's a couple of atheists on. There's a channel called The Line, I think.
Right.
Um,
They go to like
and-
BYU or something.
well, no, it's a call-in thing. Somebody
Oh,
started
okay.
a website where you can do like phone-in shows on live streamed on YouTube or whatever, and so they're using that, and it's just kind of there's a guy, Matt Dillahunty.
You've recommended him to me before.
And yeah, I mean, I could just watch him talk. He's a very he's sort of philosopher slash logic slash whatever, but also an incredibly good debater. Jordan Peterson will not talk to him. That's how good he is. And yeah, there was one of these where this guy phoned in and they were trying to explain to him what evidence would look like. Is it, have you got evidence? Can you prove any of this? And they went, so, okay, there's the story in the Bible in like Judges or something where the prophet, either Elijah or Elisha, and there's this other place that's got a god called Baal, and they have a fire off.
Yes.
And it's whose god can light this big pile of very wet wood on fire, and Yahweh wins,
right?
And it's kind of like they're going, that's evidence. So do you have any evidence like that to this person who's called in? And the guy's like, well, let's say I did.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, that's the whole point. It's got you can't like be showing up in court and going, if I had evidence to prove that the person murdered the victim, then you would have to convict. And and it's the same thing with these insane videos that are just being
well, it could have been real, and I'm just a bit like, well, yeah, and the moon could be made of cheese, but it matters materially that it isn't.
Yes, it does. And I keep getting I sort of get to this point at the late in the evening where my brain has just turned into complete mush. Hello, Mechapylon.
You're making it to the evening before that happens? Oh my god.
I get to about 8:30, and then I watch
in the morning.
Well, it's the second half of October now, so it's movies, movie and evening. Cabin in the Woods last night, excellent film if you haven't seen it. But yeah, then Rice, just for about half an hour before I go to bed, I just, for some reason, open up YouTube and start just doing like the TikTok thing, effectively, just the shorts.
I've started being that on Instagram now.
Yeah.
I'm training my algorithm.
But my algorithm keeps, you go through like 3 or 4 that are real people talking with real voices about real, well, I mean, none of it's
things of varying relevance to the real world, but like they're genuine human beings making
genuine
actual
human
sound.
beings going, get ready with me for whatever it might be that you're watching. And then you get these there's this genre of video where it's like an artist making a painting using a particular technique, and there's just a narration over the top of it
Yeah.
that says the artist does the thing and then the thing and with the thing and this is to do, and it's AI.
Yeah.
It's like somebody has written a bit of code that follows artists on YouTube
And just nicks their stuff and
nicks
put
their
an overlay
video
over
and
it.
then puts a narration over it that is
Remixes
just
it.
describing what is happening in the video. And sometimes I'll be sat there for like 10, 15 seconds before I go, oh God, it's one of these again.
Yeah.
And remember to, because I'm trying to sort of spot them, but it is just.
Mm.
And so I'm thinking of building an AI that watches the AI videos on YouTube, like the Electric Monk from Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency. Have you read that?
I'm just thinking of that bit from Pacific Rim, like to fight monsters, we built monsters of our own.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, to watch the AI slop, I'm going to build an AI that watches
Yeah.
the AI slop, and then we can have a parallel.
Hang on, so it's just
civilization.
there to consume. It's
Yes.
not.
Yeah.
Does that prevent you from also consuming it though?
Yes.
Like it absorbs it?
No, so what it'll do is it will sit there
Yeah.
and it will watch all the stuff on.
Oh, you're
YouTube
talking about having an
Shorts.
AI like poison taster,
Yes, and then
right?
when it
Like
detects,
you're a monarch and you
when
have
it
someone to taste
yes,
your
when
food for
it
you.
detects AI slop,
Yeah.
it will give it a thumbs down, leave a negative comment,
Yeah.
and click the 3 dots and say don't recommend this channel,
Yeah, sure.
and it will curate my feed to
Just
stuff.
just de-AI it.
And the comment will basically be along the lines of, if you believe my AI has identified you as slop in error, please contact me at.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, that's a thing. And of course, how am I going to build this thing? I'm going to use Claude. Because of course I am.
But you're not like building stuff with Claude that you're shoving under people's noses for clicks.
No.
That's I think one of the differences as well. I mean, as with any piece of technology, there's the political conditions that allowed it to arise, and obviously
Yes.
those with AI are horrible political conditions that are, and it's being developed as an anti-labor tool or whatever.
Yeah.
But then there's also how are you actually wielding it?
Yeah.
Is a huge part of like the AI videos that I'm kvetching about. It's because people are just sort of putting trash out there for ephemeral likes. People aren't using it to do art.
Yeah.
Like there is really cool generative AI or generative model stuff you can do as art.
Yes.
But the thing is that to do it, you need to actually be an artist. You can't be somebody who's just like, well, I could be an artist if I had the skills and the AI gives me the skills. It's like, no. It's
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a guy, an artist who goes by Shardcore, which he was on X as Irokdras, which is Shardcore backwards.
Sure.
And a lot of kind of political stuff. He went through a phase of stamping ultraviolet skulls, like Queen Elizabeth, but as a skull.
Oh.
And he stamped it in ultraviolet onto 20 and £10 notes, and then put them back into circulation.
Oh, that's amazing!
So that when people hand over the note in a shop and they use the UV thing to see if it's real, they saw that. That's
so creepy. I would freak out.
Which is an art project, that
brilliant.
That is modern art. That is because the only way you knew that he'd done it was that he documented it and made videos about it and put a video on YouTube and all this sort of stuff. And he is doing some actually interesting things with AI. It's kind of like going, if I get an AI to watch this and then this instruction, what do I get out of it? But it's very clearly exploring what is possible with machine learning and deep learning.
It's like, what if I use this thing that
Oh, but I think we are. I got red. Yeah, no, I think we need to put that back in there. Damn it all.
Can you hear us?
All right.
Can you hear us now?
Let's see if people can hear us now.
Can you hear us? Muted. We're not muted
No,
though.
we're not muted. But
And now it's
there's
see
like
now it's going green. That's what I
Yeah,
was looking
all right.
for before.
Okay,
Right,
good.
so-
We're good.
Tell us in the chat, what was the last thing you heard us say? Have we just been talking for the last 5 minutes
Pretty much.
without anyone being
So
able
yes,
to hear us?
let's start again. I'm going to have to find this if I ever do edit this and upload it to Spotify. There is going to be a very quiet patch.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, oatmeal.
Yeah, we're talking about when you realise that something is
And
AI
yes,
generated.
did this comic about when the moment you realise that something you're watching or looking at is AI generated, it just sucks all the joy out of it for you, and as Eli said, gives you the ick.
Yeah.
And I think, and he makes the point in the comic that when you saw Jurassic Park for the first time, and the dinosaurs. And I don't know if anybody. I saw Jurassic Park in the cinema when it came out, and I was before Eli was born, I think.
I was born in 1994.
Yeah. But yeah, it was like, yes, the dinosaurs there aren't real. The dinosaurs are computer generated, but in a weird way, they were computer generated by people.
Mm.
And so that sort of made it special. Whereas AI, I think it depends what it does, what you've
Yes.
used it to do. So one of the first gigs that Industrial Light and Magic got.
Mm-hmm.
So the special effects shop that George Lucas started to get into CGI, computer generated imagery effects, and they did the sort of liquid monster thing from the Abyss, and they did the T-1000 Terminator in Terminator 2. But actually, one of the first jobs that they got was Hudson Hawk, which was a film starring Bruce Willis. And it's widely regarded as not a good movie. I quite like it, actually.
I've never seen it.
It's got this nice conceit. He's a thief.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he times things, like how long he's got until the alarm goes off, is for any given number of minutes and seconds, up to like whatever it is, he knows a song that is exactly that
I love
length.
that. Yeah, okay.
And so you've got this thing where he's kind of like tiptoeing through a museum going, "Would you like to swing on a star?"
Oh, that's brilliant. That's such a good bit.
And, Bruce Willis is not a bad singer. Anyway, there's a scene in this film where he is climbing up a wall at night, and the camera is looking down at him from above. And it was only when he saw the rushes from this scene that was how Bruce Willis found out he was going bald. And they couldn't reshoot the scene because they had lost wherever, they were like on the side of the Met in New York or wherever it was.
They couldn't be, yeah.
And so they hired Industrial Light and Magic to draw hair on Bruce Willis's head.
Yeah.
Now, if you released a movie today, if you released Hudson Hawk today, and there was something in the credits that said Bruce Willis's hair was digitally restored by an AI, I would be like, yeah, okay, fine. That's absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with that at all. But if you released Jurassic World Rebirth and it's like,
is it the selling point?
The news that all the dinosaurs in that entire thing had been kind of modeled and animated by artificial intelligence. No.
It's because that's what you're going there to see, right? I didn't go there.
Spectacle.
You don't watch that movie for Bruce Willis's hair. You watch it for him climbing up the side of the Met,
yes, exactly.
of that set.
Yes.
If that set had been AI generated, you'd be a bit like, oh, well. And that's kind of how a lot of, I know Ian McKellen has spoken about this as his experience on the Hobbit films, about the amount of green screen that there was, and he just didn't enjoy the process of making those films because they were doing so much with,
and the same with the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah,
and it's that the actors have,
and that's not even a generative AI thing. It's about what are you eliding away?
Yes,
when you use these kind of tools.
But actually, I mean, thinking about the thing with, I'd be fine if it was just somebody's hair, but it's not with the dinosaurs. This is the thing of what we should be using AI for is the busy work, the non-creative stuff.
The stuff that's just visual noise, but you'll notice if it's off.
Yes.
But
and it's like, I want the AI to do my laundry.
Well, the other thing is
that I can spend time with my kids. I don't want the AI to spend time with my kids so that I have more time to do the laundry.
Laundry and spreadsheets, yeah.
Yeah.
The other aspect to AI as an anti-labor tool and thinking about visual effects and even digital effects before generative AI took off is that a lot of the reason why you have digital effects superseding practical effects these days, or over the last 20 years or so, is because visual effects stuff, digital effects, not unionized.
Yes.
And that's not enough for the people who want to be paying their workers less. Now we've got to have AI to do it as well. Hey,
Just
hello, Dylan. We're being socialists on Maine.
Hello.
hello.
Hello. There we
Hey.
go.
Yay! How
Have
are
we,
you?
have we started a bit where you are on a sofa field and I'm somewhere really weird?
Yes.
Yes. And
That's my
outside,
view. There you go. Look
in
at
a
that.
rooftop bar.
Yes. Yeah.
Very nice.
In a rooftop terrace in a little. I'm in Coimbra, which is what I'm going to do first. So I'm going to switch my chair because the one I've got is broken. I didn't
Ah.
break it, internet. It wasn't me. I had nothing to do with it. Yes, I have a couple of days between an event in Lisbon and an event in Porto, and Lisbon is at the southern end of Portugal, and Porto is at the northern end of Portugal. And so I thought I should spend the weekend in the middle end of Portugal because I've never been to the middle end of Portugal. And so I found a little.
Summer between Stockholm and Odense, right? Yeah.
Yes, little places you go to because they happen to be the cheapest place to stay between the place where you were and the place where you need to be. And it's apparently Portugal's answer to Cambridge. It's an old
really?
sort of town with a very old university, possibly the oldest university in Europe. Some people have said, but I have only just arrived and literally got off a train, got a
Yes.
€3 taxi here. I would actually say that the elevator to get up to the third floor of the building I'm staying in took longer than the cab ride, because it is the slowest elevator I have ever seen in my life. And there is something delightfully Portuguese about that. Like,
Yes.
you don't have to walk, but you're not in a hurry, are you? No. It's like,
What they should do is have a bar, like on
Yes,
the ground
that's a-
floor, so that you.
no,
can
that
get
was
your
enough. Yeah.
before
yeah.
you get into the elevator. Then you have
Yeah,
your first
to
drink
tide
while
you
go
over.
up,
Yeah.
and then
Yes.
you get to the top, and then you can carry on. That would.
So they don't have a bar at all. It's a kind of it's like a hotel with just the rooms. It's billed as executive studios and apartments. So I got a hotel room with a desk and a bed and a bathroom and all the other hotel roomy things. But there's no reception desk or bar or restaurant. There is a little shared kitchen, which is kind of cool. So, but no, it just looked like a fun place to kill a couple of days. And who am I kidding? I'm going to be spending most of it sat in my room updating workshop material for next week and doing bits of work. But there are worse places to be.
You've got better weather there than we do here. We've got grey.
It is grey.
Yeah.
Been grey all week.
Yeah. This is why I'm in Portugal.
Yeah, and this is why I've been mainlining vitamin D.
I should try vitamin D. I take all the multivitamin ones that are like this will do all of the vitamins forever.
I will hook you up with an Amazon listing of gummies that are actually like I'm consistently taking it for the first time ever. Because I got just like little gummies. And I'm taking like 4 times the recommended dose or something because my vitamin D is atrocious.
Yes.
Yeah, we had a whole that was different people had a whole conversation with some folks about sad lamps recently because we are coming in.
Yes.
We're coming into sad boy hours and months, in the northern hemisphere.
Yes,
and I have some very good sad lamps.
No,
it is. Yeah,
I used to at one. I've tried various things. I've never tried like the actual sad lamp, like the proper ones, but I did at one point buy a 2.5 kilowatt security floodlight and use it as a desk lamp. And it was like one of my housemates got home and went, "What the fuck are you doing in here? I can see sunlight between the bricks." And we discovered that there were cracks in the rented house that we were living in because you could see the light shining out through it into the street. That's kind of fun.
If you put your hand in front of it, could you see your bones?
So if you did that, you'd burn the skin off.
I don't mean touch it, but
I probably have rubbish internet. No, I never tried that, but I have absolutely no idea how good the internet here actually is. But
Kat can tell us.
So what did I miss? What were you talking about while I was in the world's slowest elevator?
AI
videos being just
Yeah.
Yes, AI generated videos of lizards running off with people's
Yes.
toddlers and how they are not wanted.
Yes.
And how enraged it makes
Yes.
me to have spent any number of brain cycles viewing it when I could have been watching
Yes.
like artisanal bullshit like the Mermaid documentary,
Yes.
of which
Yes.
we've already sung its praises.
Which you have to spend
There is a
79
certain
watching.
sort of a pattern that goes through where they post a link in one of the group chats, and the link is to Instagram, which is already to me like somebody saying, "Hey, come and see what I found in the toilet," and then
Yes.
the Instagram thing is a Sora AI video, and it's like kind of like 3 strikes and we're not friends anymore, and people are on strike 1, and I'm just like, nope. You go and have fun with whatever it is you want to do with your years on the good green earth. I'm not playing along with your bullshit anymore. Yes,
I
AI
am now
videos
on
are
Instagram
terrible.
and I am like wasting time scrolling, whatever. I'm training my algorithm to show me stuff that I like. But if I'm sending something to somebody from Instagram, I'm sending it within Instagram. They have to be in the cesspit with me. I'm not
people
sending
send me
Instagram links outside of Instagram.
People send me Instagram links all the time, and I get links on my phone, and I'm like, oh, somebody's found something fun in the toilet. They think I might want to. No.
Yeah.
At some point, I clicked a button that when I post on Facebook, yeah.
I was there was tattoo artists that I like. All tattoo artists have Instagram. It's just like the standard. Wanted to show Tristan, my spouse, this tattoo artist. Took some screenshots. You can do that. Yeah. But no, we were bitching about we were saying the quote from the Oatmeal about how realizing that something is AI generated gives you the ick.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you sort of you go from, oh, this is really, oh, I that sucked all the joy out of it for me. And
Yeah. No, I did the lock note at the Azure Developer Summit, which is where I've been in Lisbon this week, which is actually great fun. Really, really good event. With a potato in it, yes. And I thought at one point that it could be very interesting to do a presentation where each slide is just like, what do I want on that slide? Like the notes I make for myself about what goes here, what goes here, what goes here. Because for me, when I'm storyboarding presentations and putting them together, some of it is very specific, like put up that photograph that you took in that one place of that thing happening and find it. And other times it'll be like something pretty that looks like confusion or a nice bridge or whatever. And then like effectively the prompt comes up and then it brings up side by side the AI interpretation of that prompt and the slide that I would have used by going through my own libraries or stock photography or creating original artwork by hand. And just seeing kind of how long it takes before people are just like, can we not have the AI ones anymore? Because it's like you're shitting directly into my brain.
Yes. Yeah. But so the other thing, though, that I have been wondering this week is I keep seeing amazing breakthroughs in graphics specifically. So a couple of weeks ago, NVIDIA released a paper, which is on Nature, so I haven't been able to read it. But they have got a new way of stopping things going through other things in 3D modeling by essentially just forcing a cushion of air or a gap in between things. They don't let them get closer than a certain amount.
I mean, that's kind of how it works in real life, right? It's a repulsion between particles.
Nobody's quite sure how it works. As I understand it, physicists can't explain why I can't just put my arm through.
You can in dreams. That's the way to tell if you're lucid dreaming. You can punch your thumb right through the palm of your hand. It's weird. Anyway.
But and then these are all on 2-minute papers, which is a fantastic, not AI generated YouTube channel. The guy's energy, the guy narrates 2-minute papers, and the way he's fellow scholars, he is just incredibly excitable, and they are a joy to watch. But then there's another one, which it seems to have been done by one Japanese guy who works at Zozo, and it's even more precise, and it's something to do with he's using a cubic equation instead of the other kind of equation that they were using or something. But essentially it's like 3D rendering that can twist together 150 million strands a virtual elastic or string or whatever, and none of them clip through each other.
That's wild.
And this
That's
works
wild.
with material that has effectively zero thickness, like digital graphene.
Yeah.
And you can just drape this over a hedgehog, and it will just not. None of the hedgehog spikes will go through the heat of graphene.
I remember when they were developing new 3D modeling technology to do Merida's hair.
Yes,
Brave,
yeah.
You know, like this stuff is really hard.
But because you watch Pixar movies or superhero movies or whatever it is, when Batman's riding along on his bat cycle because his car exploded and then the bat cycle came out of it in The Dark Knight, and his cape is flapping behind him, and obviously what would actually happen in real life is it would get caught up in the wheel and Batman would be dead.
Yeah, Edna Mode voice.
Exactly, yes. But what happened in reality was that a team of artists had to go through the frame by frame of that cape flapping, because when it was filmed there was no cape, obviously, and then they put the cape on using 3D modeling and fluid dynamics, but then they had to go through and just adjust it by hand in all the frames so that none of the ones where the bike was poking through the cape showed up. And this new technology can essentially replace that. Anyway, there's a link to the GitHub repository for this Python code and all this sort of NumPy and pandas and whatever else is going on with this. And it's not, to be clear, this is not something that's going to be making it into Battlefield 7 or games that we've got coming up, because it's not seconds per frame, it's minutes. It's back to minutes per frame,
right,
to do this,
but
still quicker,
movies and stuff,
and less joyless, because honestly, sitting there and fixing
it's busy work.
Capes is not something that anyone
again
wants to do
it's
for months
editing
on
in
end.
Bruce Willis's hair,
exactly,
in Hudson Talk.
But so I went to the GitHub repository, and it had two contributors, one of which was this guy's work account. The other was obviously his secondary account that he uses when he's not at work. And the third was Claude. Because you can now plug Claude directly into GitHub, and it has its own account where it is just Claude, and it will push, and it will commit under its own name, and it will push, and it can fork things and fix pull requests without you ever actually pulling the code onto its machine. You can go to Claude and go, hey, look at this issue and let's fix it, and you're going to do it on a virtual machine somewhere, and you're going to commit it, and then it's going to have your name on it.
Right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's using this stuff. And then I thought, because I've seen there's a new texture compression algorithm that I think Intel came out with, which essentially uses, it's a bit like Gaussian splatting, but it doesn't work on a pixel grid. It works on decomposing the image into approximate shapes, and then repeatedly doing that at a higher resolution. What it's actually doing is, the way Stable Diffusion generates images. So it starts with noise and takes away everything that it doesn't think is a dog. And once it's done enough taking away things that it doesn't think is a dog, there's a dog. Like Michelangelo. Marble,
you set him free from the marble.
And so this is like doing the diffusion thing in reverse. It's kind of like breaking it down into noise, but in a way it can then decompress it into exactly the same thing. And so I'm thinking, are these research people, because these are computer scientists, obviously, and mathematicians, are they using AI to help them do this research? Is this why we're getting these breakthroughs that seem to have stumped people for so long?
I'm going to drop because I do not have good enough internet to actually hear half of what you're saying.
Oh, okay. That's a real shame. It's brilliant.
Yes, I'm getting stuttering and I can't hear the words. So goodbye, everybody. It's been nice seeing you briefly.
Okay.
But yes, I cannot actually follow the thread of the conversation because the connection is not good enough. And so, tatty bye. See you next time. Goodbye, everybody in the chat. Have fun.
See you next time. Have fun at Porto. Okay. But yes, so I'm wondering, because Gen AI and 3.5 and 4 and everything has been around for kind of the amount of time it takes to do research and write a paper for this sort of thing.
I mean, it reminds me of
how much of it is augmented.
Reminds me of the thing that Rich Campbell says sometimes about quantum computers, where, when we think about the history of classical computing, the first mechanical or first computers that weren't people doing computation, the first objects that were computers were custom built and took up entire rooms, entire buildings worth of space, and were very pernickety, had to be operated by hand by people who knew them inside and out.
Yes.
And, very error prone, and you had to interpret their results. And that's where we are now with quantum computers. But then in the history of classical computing, we used those early bespoke, very context specific machines to figure out how to build more general purpose ones and optimize the layout on silicon chips and things. And that possibly we could do, there could be some sort of similar bootstrapping thing with quantum computers, but also, AI.
Yes.
And it depends on there will be certain fields where being able to sift through a lot of possibilities in a much quicker time than a human could. Like there are ways that applied statistics is very useful. There will be some fields where that is a very useful thing, or some particular problems within fields.
I think one of the things that's interesting is traditionally for stuff like if you go back to the machine learning, deep learning meaning of AI and not the generative AI, not the GPT thing, then that is still very useful, and it's essentially do an awful lot of thinking for me in a very short space of time.
I mean,
analyze a lot of data for me.
I saw an interesting thing today. I think someone shared it in the group chat about a scam, a hack that they almost fell for, which was a fake job interview with a fake company and everything looked legit. And they had a take-home coding challenge, and what it was that there was buried somewhere in this repository that they were rushed trying to execute on the coding challenge that they'd been given. And then finally they were going to execute the code, and buried deep in the nodes, code was something that was going to exfiltrate all of their everything, and it was be running with node server permissions, admin permissions. And the way that they found it before they actually executed that code was at the last minute they went, hang on, just let me put my paranoid hat on for a moment and ask my coding assistant, I don't remember if they said which one it was, Cursor, to scan through this repository and say, hey, does anything look off? And that's the kind of thing where they're not even asking Cursor to generate anything for them. They're asking for it to analyze and tag.
Yes.
And that's the kind of thing that I think a lot of research will be aided by.
Yes.
All of the generating, once you have the concepts and the understanding, generating content is not the issue. It's getting to that point in the first place.
Yeah.
To be fair, I think there's something I hear from friends who are in academia is that writing grant proposals, it can be just completely replaced with AI, and reading grant proposals can be completely replaced with AI. And what that tells you is not that AI is useful, but that this process is not useful.
Yes. Yeah. I am thinking of using AI to write a patent application.
Yeah, sure.
Because why?
And there's a lot out there for it to have been trained on.
Yeah, that's it. All patents. The USPTO and the various different patent offices. You can probably still go online and go to the Swiss Patent Office and see patents that were signed into the system by Albert Einstein before 1915 when he was working there as a clerk. Although actually how many you'd get, I'm not sure, because I don't think he did very much work when he was there. But no, and so this is positive use of AI. And, I've been doing my reasons to be cheerful talk, and one of the things in that is to say there are positive uses for AI.
Outside of just keeping our friends employed.
Yes. And and outside of enabling me to do things that I don't necessarily have all the knowledge to do, all the sort of actual. I don't know the programming language specifically. I know how to code. I can tell it exactly what to do. I can describe the algorithm, and then it can go, and here it is implemented in Zig.
And that's what I mean about, like, once you have the understanding, going from that to the content creation, it's like you're using the tool to do that. But if you needed to learn how to do it, you could do it.
Yes.
Whereas somebody who's using Sora to generate toddler carried off by crocodile could not make that video themselves.
Yeah.
They would have to, like, through the process of learning the skills in order to make that video, they would have to have actually become like an artist, and they'll probably produce something far more interesting.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if Sam, oh, hello, you came back. If Sam Altman,
you have no sound.
I've no that useless that word. Yeah.
So if Sam Altman would like to come on the show, and see if he can give us one single reason why Sora should exist.
La 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 la.
Big stock price.
La 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 la. Does that work?
Outside of his
but that's it.
But
right?
yeah, that is it.
That's the mode of
there is
production that we've decided on as a society.
As far as I can tell, there is no valid use case for Sora. It's like what is it for? Why would you have it?
2,
I have
3.
no interest in using it. I have no interest in using like image generation, certainly like generative AI image generation. I like procedural stuff, like catch me in MATLAB, like graphing out Julia sets or whatever. But yeah.
Is it working? Do we have audio? Can you hear me, internet?
Yes, we can hear you.
Marvelous. Yes. The case study for Sora, or the use case for Sora, is to persuade stupid people that AI is real so that they can manipulate the media and get more investment, because they don't actually have a product they can sell to anybody because it's all a big pile of crap.
Yes.
Yes.
Make stock go up. Yeah.
Yeah, line go up.
Line go up.
Was it Anthropic who are considering putting adverts into Claude's output if you were only on the Pro plan?
That did not take long, did it? That did not take long for that enchilification.
Your market cap, your valuation of $500 billion, and you're an advertising company like Google.
I am so like
Dylan is not in the bathroom. Dylan is adjacent to the bathroom, but Dylan is at the little desk in Dylan's hotel room in Portugal, so everything is fine.
Like the little desk.
But yes, so.
At the risk of this not sort of just being the AI show, and because we were talking about being angry because
somebody forced me with my own human eyes to watch a video that was not created by human.
But the most unlikely, or in my opinion, one of the most unlikely people got involved in one of those like dramas where they put out some content and it made a lot of people very unhappy. And it was Hank Green.
I haven't read up on this yet, but this is my circus and these are my monkeys, because he pissed off the knitting community.
He did. Hank Green.
I think he said something very reductive about knitting.
I mean, I forget what. The original video has been deleted. I've watched reaction videos that seem to include quite a lot of it. And the main thing
you gathered
that you sort of pick up on, and that seems to be what has upset the knitters, is he suggests that knitting and the ability to create kind of like patterns and knit 3, purl 7, whatever the hell else is going on, and deliberately dropping stitches. Was arrived at by trial and error, which you sort of think.
No, you understand how the fabric is created topologically, and then you start to get freaky with it.
But there is going to be an element of, I think if I do this, it will do this.
Yeah, sure. That's not it, and that's science,
works, and sometimes it doesn't.
Which I guess is trial and error, right? But like
he says it's trial and error. And then
not the Markov chain kind, the learning kind.
But then the physicists turned up, and it's kind of like, but physics is also trial and error.
Well, and also, if anybody turned up, it would be the material scientists.
It is the material scientists,
which is not strictly.
We're
physics.
into that thing of sort of biology, chemistry, physics. maths. Hello, maths.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Knitting is maths. It's all topology.
But yes,
Surly says nobody has pissed off the knitting community this much since Slipknot tried to trademark their name.
To be fair,
I did.
Slipknot's usually more of a crochet thing than a
Yeah.
knitting thing. Actually, if we're gonna actually,
Actually, I think you'll find there was a lovely story a little while ago about a knitting circle that had a little Christmas party, and they wanted to book some entertainment, and they booked a Slipknot tribute band. Someone knew absolutely nothing about it, and this band kind of showed up, and they're like, "Do you want us with the masks?" And all these, mostly little old white ladies are like, "Masks?"
yes.
And I think in the end they just played some like 1950s rock and roll songs, and everyone had a jolly time.
Yeah.
But also, speaking of knitting, I saw there are now a couple of cinemas in.
I've been
the
sent this by a
Netherlands.
handful of different people. Yes.
And they're basically cinemas for people with ADHD. And so
Soft lighting,
there's the
you
big,
can
they
knit.
have the big screen and all this sort of stuff.
Subtitles.
Subtitles are on, and everyone's got their own little like workstation with a little lamp that you can turn on and off if you just want to sort of
Like
chill and watch a
you're
movie.
on a plane and you have your own directional light. You know?
Yes, yeah, and it is just like I can't watch a movie for 90 minutes without doing something that if I did it in a normal cinema environment would
be
annoy
disruptive.
people.
I can.
I'm
The length of a film is about the limit for me.
Yeah.
Like more than about 2.5 hours, and I'm frothing at the mouth.
But you would enjoy yourself more if you could sit there and crochet.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I do. It's a different mode of enjoyment for sure.
Yes.
But I think partly like I get my fill of sitting in front of something that I can knit in front of, because I can do that at home. I can do that behind us. You can see this here is one end of it, and this is the other end of it. Big old screen, and we can watch TV on that. So I have cinema at home that I can pause and do my knitting.
You sit in the front row of talks and with your.
Oh yeah. But then there's lighting enough to do that, and I'm not. I'm willing to bet that I'm not being distracting enough to other people that it's a dick move to do.
Yes.
Whereas it would be in a cinema, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm on your TV.
Yeah, now you're on our screen. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's quite neat.
Yeah.
This may be a controversial viewpoint, but the reason the cinema exists for me, the reason I enjoy it, the reason I will go and see a film in the cinema is because it is dark and there is nothing else happening.
This is what I mean by
we have so many ways. If you want to watch a movie, but you don't want to be in a cinema because you want to do your crochet and eat your snacks and order a burger and talk to your friend and check your messages on your phone, we have so many other places you could watch the movie. Like, you want to go to the cinema, phone off, popcorn, pour the minstrels into the popcorn, giant, big, massive Coca-Cola. That means you're going to be busting for a piss by the time the film is finished. And you sit there in the dark and that's all you do.
Well, yeah.
I love cinema. I have no...
The ADHD cinema is obviously not that, but it's also a thing that doesn't quite exist in that it's also kind of social in the way that at home on my own or just with my family is not social in that same way. Like you could imagine meeting people there and becoming friends.
The places are hugely popular, and this isn't a zero-sum game. They're not going.
Yeah.
There are no longer cinemas where it's dark and you're not allowed to use your phone for 2 hours.
Yeah. More options
those still exist.
Yeah.
It's like apparently young people are now having raves where they don't drink or do drugs, and it's like, well, what's the point of that? But they're enjoying themselves, and there are still probably plenty of raves where I could drink and do drugs if I wasn't so old.
Also, going back to the knitting, Jeffrey Willis just said, story about a topologist who got chatting to a knitter and took an interest. He went away, came back the next day, excited. He told her about her new technique he'd discovered. Yes, dear, that's a pearl. Which is, there's a thing in knitting and crochet, particularly knitting. We have a term called unventing something, which is when you invent something, but it's been done. 500 years ago, it was done.
Oh, that's such a wonderful word. I've never heard that word before.
Yeah, like, I've just
unventing.
If I did this, what would happen? And it's just like, oh yeah, you've just unvented the twisted slip knit.
Oh, I once unvented sine and cosine because I didn't know they existed.
Yeah, right.
So I had to invent them.
I like things that are so like that can happen.
Yes.
Like differentiation independently discovered about the same time, right? By Leibniz and by Newton.
Yes.
because there's something about that that's just like, oh, it's so easy to derive from first principles that multiple people have done it.
There's also
knitting is full of those kind of things.
XKCD, literally today, I think.
Oh yeah.
The most recent one.
Physics paths.
So yes, Einstein had an insight that overturned physics, thus proving his. Oh no, hang on, that wasn't it. Oh yeah, here we go. Yes, sure. When Einstein suggests using the Lorentz transform to explain the connection between velocity and time, people call him a genius. But when I suggest it, it's basic physics and undergraduate stuff.
Such a double standard. And then the alt text is, when Galileo dropped 2 weights from the Leaning Tower of Pisa, they put him in the history books. When I do it, I get detained by security for injuring several tourists.
So yes, exactly that.
Yeah.
Unventing.
Yeah. But it's like, and sometimes somebody will show up on like the knitting.
I was in. I was in.
You know, what is this? And you go, oh, you've just invented this thing. Congratulations! It's a really cool technique, and this is when you would use it.
Yes.
You know, I like that. It's sweet.
Early on in my,
I was in Dordrecht a couple of weeks ago doing an event there, and they have a leaning tower there, which was supposed to be a full height cathedral tower, but they got halfway up and then it started falling over, and so they stopped building it and they just put the clock on the top of the bit that they'd already built and left it there. And yeah, there's this sort of slightly leaning bottom half of a cathedral tower with a massive clock on the top of it, and that's like the city of Dordrecht, which is fun.
Enough, you know, close enough for jazz.
Yeah.
What was I about to say?
Something about inventing stuff. I think it's really sweet in the knitting community.
Oh yes, yeah, I remember on the base subreddit when I was sort of having been playing for about a year, and somebody popped up and they had just worked out that A minor and C major are the same scale. But
well,
you know,
the Aeolian mode of A minor,
yeah,
specifically.
So,
but yes,
but you know, if you play them on a piano keyboard, it's all the white keys. And if you start on A, then it's an A minor scale, and if you start on C, then it's a C major scale, and if you start on D, then it's a like Lydian or Mixolydian.
Wait until they learn about the cycle of fifths, and you know,
but yeah, they'd sort of come to this conclusion.
Locrian.
With the which one?
Locrian.
Locrian, yes, Locrian.
Yes, I think if you play the white note starting on a D.
Yeah.
No, C, D. No, if you start at B, it's Locrian. Yeah. Music theory. Modes were all the thing when I was learning to play the guitar, and all the guitar magazines like, you need to learn your modes, and everyone played the modes and went,
because
there's the major one, there's the minor one, and some of the rest sound weird, and this one sounds like Hungarian jazz.
F is the Lydian, F is the Mixolydian, I think.
Yeah. Stygian is E, I think.
Maybe D is the Dorian.
I think D might be Dorian.
Yeah, there's one that's like it's D for Dorian. I think it might be that.
Because I was
Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian.
There we go.
So if you play all the white notes starting on C, that's Ionian. If you play all the white notes starting on D, it's Dorian. Hey, that's good. D for Dorian. We can remember that. If you play it starting on an E, it's Phrygian. Play it starting on an F, it's Lydian. Play it starting on a G, it's Mixolydian. A is Aeolian, which is natural minor, and play it on B, that's the Locrian mode, which is very strange indeed.
Yeah, and it's E is Phrygian because E kind of looks like a 2. It looks like a fridge. If you had the extra line, it would look like a fridge freezer.
You're associated.
Now we got to invent things for all of them.
I think
F is Lydian because the word Lydian is a little like if you put an F on the beginning of the word Lydian, it almost looks like Floydian, and that's like Pink Floydy.
Yes.
And G is Mixolydian.
Yeah,
because G and T is a gin and tonic, which is a mixed drink, and A is Aeolian is easy, and that just leaves B is Locrian because they're both horrible.
Yeah.
I'm glad we've cleared that up.
There we go. Anyone taking your grade 6 theory exams? Remember that?
Yes.
I took formal piano lessons for 6 months, and at the end of it, they said, have a go at this. This is like a thing we do to see if you're ready to take your grade 1 yet. And I failed it and decided that classical music was probably not for me. The exam that I failed had pictures of elves on it to make it less frightening to the children. I understand the theory and I can play many of the instruments, but I do not dots. My brain just cannot grok the dots.
No.
No, I can't. Like the bit of my brain that does visual pattern recognition is air gapped from the bit that can play and listen to music and know what things sound like.
Yeah.
Next
Does
time,
not work.
Next time we see each other, I'll bring my book of big like Irish reels and jigs, and show it to you and just.
I'm going to create an AI that can read normal sheet music and convert it into Lily Pond Scheme, and then I can render it. There you go. There's another project for my.
There is a lovely on one of the guitar subreddits. People often pop up going, "Hey, how do I play this?" And it's some impossible piece of tablature. Like you got to put a finger at the 1st fret and the 8th fret and the 14th fret.
Oh yes.
And some poor kid out there is like, "Oh, but that's how they got to do it." And it's like, no, that's just crap. Like someone has turned a MIDI file into tab and published it without ever bothering to actually check whether it's even possible, let alone correct. And they're like,
auto-generated cross-stitch patterns do the same.
Like,
they take an image and they just like render it. Like, oh, did you actually check that there's a limited number of colors and that they're all used for more than about 5 stitches? Otherwise, what you've made is like trash and isn't actually. You know,
some enterprising person on Songster has completely redone the bass tab for "Love Story" by Taylor Swift, so that it's done for 5-string. Where previously it was a drop D for 4-string, and that was only one note there that used that. But they've redone the whole thing for 5-string, which is incredibly helpful to me. But I'd already done that transposing in my head and learned it on 5-string anyway, because it's not that difficult to do. And it's completely thrown me now. Because the other thing is they've moved like open D to 5th fret on E for some reason, or 5th fret on A.
Oh, are they doing?
No, it was so much easier when I just went up to that one. But anyway.
You avoid open strings on like violin and viola and cello sometimes, because if your open strings are very slightly out of tune, you can adjust. But with a fretted instrument, you don't have that quite so much.
But
I guess you can pull the string. But
there's a slightly different sound. And sometimes it can be very noticeable.
Yes, so, sure.
But yes. So anyway. That is, we're out of time, and I have to go.
We are out of time.
Take my strings off and put Ernie Ball Cobalt Slinkies on.
Cobalt Slinkies.
Very expensive, but they last like 4 times longer than normal round.
See, you need apparently. 2 names. You need to figure out another name, or just be Rendell, because like Rendell, it needs to be Rendell something and the Cobalt Slinkies as a band name.
Yes.
But it doesn't just work as Rendell and the Cobalt Slinkies. It needs to be Rendell, 2 syllables.
Yeah, Rendell and the Cobalt Slinkies sounds like Charlton and the Wheelies or something.
Yeah.
Rendell.
Yeah.
Yes. See, this is the thing. I'm kind of like, I'm fine with Rendell as a first name. I just need to think of a new last name.
Yeah.
There used to be like a blues singer name thing, which was you had to pick a disability or medical condition that somebody you know has, the color of your underwear, and the last thing you ate. So you'd be like Blind Brown Hamburger would be your blues name.
Ah.
Yeah.
Yes. See, I could. No. Now I'm going through kind of like name of the road where I first lived, name of the hospital where I was born, Rendell Buchanan. That doesn't sound.
And the Cobalt Slinkies.
And the Cobalt Slinkies.
Rendell Buchanan and the Cobalt Slinkies. Yeah.
Yeah. See, that has a
how many security questions is that the answer to?
So none.
So I have a name. I have a name which is so good that I almost want to start like an entire blues power trio project just to be able to use this name, because I found out that a Chicago typewriter was slang for a Tommy gun, and now I want to start a band called the Chicago Typewriters, because I think that's beautiful. It's just a lovely little piece of language. So, right, I'm going to go and explore Coimbra and see what people do here for fun of a Thursday evening, and find a steak the size of my own head. So next week I will be in Porto teaching people how to build their own programming language. So I will not be tech bug and rock and rolling. And the week after that,
bullshit, I imagine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Surly Dev, Rendell Squared. Quite like that. Yeah, that's not bad.
Rendell Squared and the Cobalt Slinkies.
Yeah.
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 Then if either one of your kids want to join you, or it can be just your 2 kids.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. It still works.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right.
Right, so folks.
We'll
Take
see
it
you
easy.
next week. See you
Bye-bye.